Let's have a go at converting from decimal into binary. Now we're going to start with a simple decimal to binary conversion. I'm going to take the number 13. I know it's decimal because I've got that little number 10 in the bottom right hand corner. And I know that this converts into 4-bit binary, so I'm going to use that knowledge to simplify this. But if you don't know how many bits you're going to need to use, always best to try and start from something like 128 and work all the way back. Okay, so you start at 1, you do your powers of 2 going up, 1, 2, 4, 8. You could keep going 16, 32, 64, blah, 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 blah. I know we only need 4 bits to write this number, so I'm just going to put these place values here for now. We start at the left and we work right. We say, does this place value, 8, fit in to this number 13? The answer is yes, because 8 fits inside 13. It's smaller than 13, so we put a 1 here. What we do now is we deduct from our original number this place value here, 8. That gives us 5, and this is our new number, which we will continue with. We ask ourselves the question, does this place value, 4, fit inside this number 5? Well, 5 is bigger than 4, so it does fit, and we put a 1 there. Again, we deduct from this number the place value, 4, and this gives us our new number 1. Does 2 fit into 1? Or is 1 greater than 2? Well, no, it's not. 2 doesn't fit into 1, so we have to put a 0 in here. The number carries on and we go to the next place value. Does 1 fit into 1? Yes, it does. And it fits exactly because 1 minus 1 is 0. And we know we're complete. So the number 13 in decimal is equivalent to the binary number 1101. We can put a little number 2 there to indicate that this is a number in binary. Let's try with a slightly trickier example. How about we take the number 234 in decimal and convert it into binary. Now this is an example where you need more than 4 bits to represent this number. So we're just going to start at 1, we're going to work up in powers of 2, 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, and we're going to go all the way up to 128. So we've got 8 bits there with which to write this number 234. So we do the same thing we did before. We start from the left and we work to the right. Does 128 fit inside 234? Yes, it does, because it's smaller, so we put a 1 in that column. We now work out what our remainder is, so we do 234, and I'm just going to do this over here. 234 minus 128, and that gives us 106. So 234 minus 128 gives you 106. This is our new number. We move on to the next place value. Does 64 fit inside 106? Yes, it does, because it's smaller than 106. So we put a 1 in there. And again, we work out the remainder. I'm just going to do the sums over here. If you've got a calculator, you can use that by all means. And that gives us 42 as our remainder, and that's our new number to work with. We move 1 place along. Does 32 fit inside 42? Yes, it does, with remainder 10. 42 minus 32 is 10. And we move along. Does 16 fit inside our current number 10? No, it doesn't. So we put a 0 and we move on. Does 8 fit inside 10? Yes, it does. So we put a 1. We deduct 8 from it and we've got our remainder, which is 2. We ask ourselves the question, does 4 fit into 2? No, it doesn't. Does 2 fit into 2? Yes, it does. We deduct the place value where we've just written the 1 from there, And we've got 0 left. Does 1 fit into 0? Well, no, it doesn't. So we put the 0 in there. And there we have it. The number in binary 11101010 is equivalent to 234 in decimal. Now, one thing you might find useful in the exam is checking your work. So we've just converted from decimal to binary. That may be the question you're asked. And now it's often a good idea, if you have time at the end, to check your working out. So what you might find good to do is follow the steps we previously learnt to convert this number from binary back into decimal and check you get the same number. So we know when we convert from binary to decimal that we look at all the place values where there's a 1. 128, 64, 32, 8, 2. Not that one, sorry, that was my mistake. We then add them up, 128 plus 64 plus 32 plus 8 and 2. We put them all together. And 24, and then we've got 11 plus 12, this gives you 13, 1 carry, and there we have it, 234. It matches our original number, so we know our working out was correct.